Perfect World EP, 240 plot analysis for the Immortal King's inheritance. The Chosen One's attempt to, but their strength is lacking, all fail. Only Shi Hao, with his own power, lifts the Origin Mother Cauldron. Passing the inheritance trial, the young heavenly horned ant attacks Shi Hao, but is sent flying by Shi Hao's punch. The young ant and Shi Hao team up to enter the immortal abode's core. The old ant's remnant soul appears domineering. The immortal ancient strongest body forging art. Clues to the indestructible scripture are revealed. Finally, Shi Hao subdues the young ant. In the latest plot, many chosen ones successfully enter the immortal abode, but the immortal ancient veterans inform the immortal king's inheritance is for the king and the young heavenly horned ant. This sparks displeasure from Lan Shan and others. However, the immortal ancient veterans give the cultivators of the three academies a chance. Whoever can move the Origin Mother Cauldron on the summit will be deemed worthy of the inheritance. This 3-foot tall cauldron has a great origin. It is the immortal ancient's #1 heavy artifact, a projection of the heavenly horned ant clan's weapon. So heavy, a mere touch could send one flying. The young supreme step up to try. Lu Hong of the longevity family goes first. The green-haired beauty from the preview. She uses the life treasure tree to channel immense power, but only shakes the void, not the cauldron. After Lu Hong fails, other chosen ones try, but all are defeated. Be it Kairi Tianjin, or Lan Shan, or the indestructible Da Zhu, or the divinely strong Kigu Dao, none can lift the Origin Mother Cauldron, just as the veterans lament that this generation is weaker than the immortal ancient. Shi Hao finally steps forward. The veteran's eyes are full of doubt. He hasn't fused with a perfect seed, yet has the immortal ancient's aura. They don't know Shi Hao used body as seed, and walked the path considered a dead end. Shi Hao places one hand on the cauldron's body, one on its leg, and roars. He activates his physical body's extreme power. Boundless blood ki erupts, forming a domain that warps spacetime. With a massive rumble, the Origin Mother Cauldron leaves the ground. Even the stone platform below, reinforced by immortal arrays, trembles violently. The veterans tremble in shock. In this era, someone has walked that path. He sets the cauldron down. The mountain quakes. Shi Hao's arms are numb, but all young supremes present feel the insurmountable gap in power. The test is over. Shi Hao can enter the ant's abode for the indestructible scripture. The others can fight for other things. Without a word, Shi Hao dashes to the divine pool. He saw 3 soul-guiding lotuses grow there. They can strengthen the primordial spirit. Even a wisp of spiritual sense can be revived. It's a second life. Cao Yushing yells. Everyone follows. Lan Shan, Lu Hong, and other supremes join the fray. Da Zutuo attacks first, his voice like thunder. Runes form a golden body. Another fires a blue divine sword, piercing the void, aiming for Shi Hao. Shi Hao opens his only heavenly passage, using the true primordial record to defend. Power surges from the gate within his body. 3 techniques combined. The divine sword shatters outside the passage. Da Zutuo is also forced back by starlight. In the chaos, Shi Hao, fast as light, severs the 3 soul-guiding lotuses. He seals them, roots and all. This angers the pool's owner, the one who punched Cao Yushing, the golden heavenly horned ant. Villain, ruining my bath. The little one attacks, fists flying, but it doesn't know Shi Hao's cauldron lifting strength rivals its own. With a thud, the young ant is punched into the sky, leaving only a fading shriek. Shi Hao gives 2 lotuses to Changgong Yan, Cao Yushing, and the others. He keeps one. Then, led by the gatekeeper, he enters the ant's honeycomb like a boat. The young ant quickly returns, fuming, vowing a rematch in a few years. It angrily chases Shi Hao into the abode, led by the veteran. Shi Hao enters the honeycomb abode. The ancient caves are a labyrinth. Countless passages connect. He and the young ant wander for a full day and night. They search every corner, but find no trace of the indestructible scripture. However, the abode is not empty. Rare, immortal mists are scattered about, but these treasures are heavy as the heavens, impossible to move. Shi Hao asks the young ant for clues. The ant retorts, "If I knew, I'd have mastered it already." A moment later, it recalls a place. With some fear, it says, "There's one more place. Do you dare come with me?" They arrive at a stone wall at the end of a path of bone. The young ant uses its small golden horn to lightly touch the wall. The wall slowly parts, revealing an ancient gate. Just stepping inside, Shi Hao's hair stands on end. His body feels like it's disintegrated. The ground is covered in bloodstains, scales, and feathers. A terrifying aura permeates the air, capable of sundering flesh and obliterating souls. What shocks him more, a golden ant leg lies on the ground. Its complex patterns could crush the heavens. Not far away, a radiant golden ant head, like a giant sun. This is a leg of the heavenly horned ant. Shi Hao looks at the immortal Dao remains, his body bleeding. He asks in shock, "Is this truly Lord Heavenly Horned Ant?" The young ant corrects him. "This is just one of my father's legs, not his true body." It then recounts the past. In the immortal ancient war, the ant fought many, slaying legions, but he was outnumbered and gravely wounded. He did not die immediately, but struggled on until this era's beginning, finally turning to blood and ash. Even more tragic, the young ant's mother and siblings had already died in battle. It was still in its mother's womb, suffering a fatal blow. The old ant exhausted, his last essence, defying heaven to let it hatch. "He died long before I was born. Turned to blood, burned to ash. The old veterans told me everything." The young ant wipes its tears, no loud sobs, but full of grief. Shi Hao tries to collect the leg to refine, but the young ant says, The veterans already used magic to extract the essence. To temper my body, my innate potential was lacking. I relied on this to supplement it. To find the inheritance, the young ant decides to overdraw its power to activate the leg. It expands, burning its blood essence, unleashing tyrannical divine power. The leg radiates an undying aura. The surrounding immortal remains disintegrate. Shi Hao quickly uses the true primordial record to shield himself, just barely able to witness the shocking scene. From within the leg, a golden-haired, middle-aged man appears. It is the remnant soul of the old heavenly horned ant, even as just a remnant. His pressure makes Shi Hao tense, showing his world-ending power. The old ant doesn't speak to his frantic son, but says he met Shi Hao 10,000 years ago. This makes Shi Hao suddenly recall the river of time on the battlefield. The encounter, the old ant had peered across eons, seeing a future where the young ant and Shi Hao fought side by side. The old ant shows the tragic memories of the immortal ancient's end. An enemy with a green sword pierced his brow. A giant hand from a foreign realm pinned him, and a golden spear shattered his meridians. Those three enemies are still alive. They are the greatest future threat. The darkest era in history is coming, more terrifying than the immortal ancient. The ant warns, mentioning the origin of the 9 heavens, 10 earths. More unknown enemies will appear. When Shi Hao asks for the indestructible scripture, the ant readily agrees. He sends a brand filled with falling stars into Shi Hao's mind. I did not reach grand completion in this art. The scripture may be incomplete. Go to that place, complete it, leave no regrets. He then refuses to see the young ant, fearing it would only deepen its sorrow. The remnant soul returns to the leg. Shi Hao uses the Kanpeng art to subdue the frantic young ant. When it recovers, Shi Hao doesn't mention the conversation. He just says he has a lead on the scripture and must go find it. The young ant is suspicious. Are you trying to trick me into leaving? But then it considers. One cannot grow in a greenhouse. It decides to see the vast world. Otherwise, it would die without seeing anything. As they leave the abode, Lam Shan and the other young Supremes' eyes burn. But due to Shi Hao's show of power and his "fight me" attitude, they dare not ask. Shi Hao asks the veterans to watch over the Heavenly Deity Academy. He and the young ant bid farewell and leave. This ant officially becomes Shi Hao's companion. Before leaving, the ant still talks tough, claiming the scripture is his family's, and he might keep it, but it has already agreed to roam with Shi Hao. Shi Hao isn't just gaining a follower, he's gathering strength for the future. The ant's ultimate strength, combined with the indestructible scripture's body forging, will be a vital force against the foreign realm and the unknown calamities to come.